Okay, we'll call the regular board meeting to order. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, for the roll call, we'll note that we are missing Mrs. Grimm and Mrs. Cherico tonight. I have no executive session announcements for tonight. We are at the point of public comment. I don't have any forms, but as always, does anybody wish to make public comment at this time? Okay. Move into presentations.
Okay, at this time I'd like to call Dr. Ziegler and his team up regarding the positive impact of coaching and our math program and how they have worked together to support our students.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the high school. I know you come here all the time, but this is our special board meeting, and tonight we're going to share and present something that's been really valuable in strengthening our math program 9 through 12. And that is really working and having our instructional coaches come in and support our learning support math class and really increase the rigor and the mindset of how they learn math. And it's really, you're going to see the benefits of the coaching process tonight and how Mrs. Belinsky has come alongside Mrs. Reinhardt in that journey. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Reinhardt. Mrs. Reinhardt, I'm going to introduce to you, this is Mrs. Judy Reinhardt, and then we have Shania Ford, and we have Haley Avens, who are two students who are going to speak this evening, and then our instructional coach, we have Mrs. Belinsky. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Reinhardt, who's going to talk to you a little bit about the process.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, first of all, for letting us be here. I get nervous at these things. We would like to tell you about our experiences as a coach and a teacher team embracing the math students. We had the pleasure of meeting with the teacher before us and working on the targeted mathematical concept she was working on, and then we decided to incorporate growth mindset into the classroom to get our reluctant group of math students, who they'll speak about that in a few minutes, to actually enjoy math and embrace the concepts and be willing to make mistakes. Mrs. Belinsky and I worked together a lot on growth mindset and ways to build that. We showed the students TED Talks by Carol Dweck, which is a psychologist from Stanford, along with Joe Bowler, who is a math guru from Stanford University. And the kids embraced it. They learned that they wanted to challenge themselves. We give them the opportunity to talk mathematically. We give them the opportunity to come up and teach the class in their strategies, use their own strategies, see if it works, show their classmates. They do whole group instruction. They do small group. They use a lot of hands-on activities. I think they're going to speak of some other things they do. And we have just had a great time, and I think they're really learning and loving math, which makes me really excited being in this classroom. It's really fun to come to every day. I think Mrs. Belinsky is going to talk a little bit more about the instructional coaching position. Working with me.
So thank you for having us out here tonight and having our kiddos. This has been a very exciting journey for us. Mrs. Reinhardt and I have worked very closely. We used the Pennsylvania core standards to guide our instruction. We used the standards and we analyzed the learning progressions that built up to those standards. And by working with the kids and reviewing their previous achievements, we found entry points for the kids. So we started to build our instruction where the kids were ready to learn. And then we designed lessons and designed challenging problems that had different entry points for kids. So in other words, they're problems that kids could enter algebraically. They're problems that kids could use manipulatives. They're problems that kids could use drawings. So they're rigorous problems, but they have multiple entry points. We encourage the kids, you know, many of us believe that mathematics is about getting the answer fast and quick and right. And when kids really believe that, and they don't get it quick and fast and right immediately, they give up on mathematics and they think they can't do it. So we worked really hard to change their mindsets about what math is about and how difficult it is to learn math. And if they're not making mistakes, they're just practicing things that they've already learned. We're really not stretching them. We celebrate mistakes because when our kids are making mistakes, it means we're stretching them and they're trying. And mistakes for us and for our kids are the best places for them to start uncovering their misconceptions and misunderstandings. To go into the classroom and hear the children talk mathematically and defend their answers when they have different solutions and use critical thinking skills is so exciting to me. Mrs. Reinhardt has worked so hard and has such a wonderful relationship with these children that I think they've started to believe in themselves. So they believe in themselves more. So it's been a very interesting journey. So thank you for letting us speak about it.
I don't think. Yeah, we just thought, yeah, could we take a minute for the students? Okay, which one of you like to go first? All right, this is Haley Avens, and she's a senior here at Pottsgrove.
Good evening. For me, math never came easy. It was just a bunch of letters and numbers put together. I remember staying up for hours trying to understand it, but it never happened. But since January, once Ms. Reinhardt came up to our classroom, I started understanding it a lot better. And she taught us about how making mistakes was okay, and that kind of made it a lot easier, knowing that if I make a mistake, either Ms. Reinhardt or even a student will say, oh no, I'll show you my way of doing it, and it just made it all the better. Since I am a senior, I got the luxury of taking the Monco placement testing, and there was a math portion, and the old me would have panicked over it because, once again, I'm terrified of math. But with the help of Ms. Reinhardt, I was able to go in there and show my work, and I knew what I got wrong right away because I showed my work, and I knew what I got wrong, and I think I almost got a perfect score on my math portion of the exam. And I wanted to thank all my teachers that I had prior to this because they helped me and encouraged me to do better. And I thank Ms. Reinhardt for also helping me believe in myself even when I didn't want to believe that I could do math.
And what she meant about seeing her mistakes is we reinforce in the classroom, make your work visible. Anything they do, we make them show it so they can see the mistake right away. And that's what she means by could see her mistake right away. Well, here you go, Shania. Shania Ford, and you are a sophomore.
Okay. When I first started, like in the beginning of the school year, my grades were bad in math. I hated math. I didn't want to come to class. I showed out because I didn't understand it so I can get kicked out of class. So I wanted to do the work. The most trouble I had was was with the Carnegie. That was most part of the thing in there, was in there. I didn't really understand it. So sometime in January, Miss Reinhardt came in. She taught us different methods, how to show your work and all that. And the hands-on work like really helped a little more better with it. I started staying in class more and doing more better. My grades got up more. I wanted to stay more in class more. I wanted to like stay in for 3 more periods. I love that class so much. And yeah, I stay more focused more in there. I'm doing more better now.
Thank you. I will say Shania stays for the double class period with me at times too, and has asked to stay for another period. And I'm like, oh no, honey, you got to go to another class now. So that is what she's referring to. It makes me feel really happy, but she does need to get to other classes. So once again, thank you for letting us speak here tonight and giving me the opportunity to work with Rose Belinsky and these great students. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And as we close out, you know, a lot of what you heard tonight was really the result of the coaching of Mrs. Belinsky coming alongside Mrs. Reinhardt and supporting her. And one of the things, as you walk by that classroom, it's a very vibrant, lively classroom. It's also a classroom that you see Mrs. Belinsky and Mrs. Reinhardt in there working together many times. So I think it's their relationship and that connection that has really strengthened the achievement of students to the point where they don't want to go to their next class. They want to stay in math. And I think that says a lot when a student says that. So thank you for your time and for the opportunity to have an instructional coach and a teacher that makes such a difference in the lives of students. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to approval of minutes. I motion that we approve the minutes of the monthly board meetings taking place on 4/11/17 and 4/25/17, items 5.1 and 5.2. Motion and a second. Any comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
I'd like a motion to accept the high school accounts, the middle school accounts, and the cafeteria accounts as presented.
So moved.
I'm sorry. Second. No.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
We need a motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $4,080,963.07 for April 2017 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Question?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I had 2, but we talked about the Apple Coach earlier. Apple Coach. The CCTV system, we spent $1,600 on to get tested and inspected. I guess that's when we were having issues with a couple of cameras, didn't catch something or other. Is that something our IT staff isn't able to do, to see if a camera's turned on, or?
No, it's more than that. It's a proprietary system, so you have to be a certified technician to actually go into the MVR or the DVRs, and we don't have the software to manage the system to check for any errors or so forth that may be associated with a camera not working. What we do have the capabilities of doing is we just did a few here at the high school, replacing the camera. So once the camera comes in, it's programmed with IP address. It's just plugging in a Cat5 wire to it. So we do that. But anything dealing with the MVR and the DVRs that are associated with it, besides us turning the button on and off to reset it, a certified technician has to come from our vendor to go into the system to check it for any issues.
Just for my what I thought I remembered was that because that happened, didn't we go into some kind of annual contract with them now instead of having to?
That's where we're moving to. So
okay.
I will be going out to bid for a couple of certified vendors to move that way. So we have been using our our previous vendor right now, which we doing a better job with them responding to us when our needs are there. So they have been responding right now in a timely fashion.
Okay, thank you. Any other? So all in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
And finally, we need a motion to approve the treasurer's report for April 2017 as presented and file it for audit.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, I'd like to turn over tonight's meeting to our student board reps for their monthly update.
Hi, I'm going to start off this report by thanking everyone who made prom such a success. I actually went on April 29th, and it was amazing. The decorations were definitely beautiful, and it was just an overall memorable and fun night. Along with that, post-prom was also a success. There were obstacle courses, volleyball tournaments, and food, and just activities that really kept students engaged and safe after prom. Along with that, we had high school students who went to Envirothon, which is an environmental competition. They had to know anything from duck calls to what trees there are, and I saw how hard the students worked since I am in environmental club, and we actually had a team who placed third place, so I just want to congratulate them. Along with that, we recently had our Spring Pops Orchestra concert, which was with the middle school and high school under the direction of Mr. Einhorn. He did very mainstream songs that were popular today, and it was nice to see both band, choir, and orchestra all collaborate to create a concert that was unforgettable. Along with that, we had the Spring Fling recently for Lower Pottsgrove, and we had many volunteers from the high school. That was anything from show choir performed to Spark the Wave, and NHS volunteered. I saw many people there, and it was overall a great success. We also had an honor roll breakfast to commend the people who get higher grades and have honor roll for at least one quarter. So we want to encourage our students to do well in classes and continue their success throughout the high school. And lastly, the show choir performed at the YMCA for a group of elders, and it was nice to see kind of students reaching out to the community and being more involved. In regards to the middle school, we had an 8th grade semi-formal coming up, which is kind of like prom but for middle school, and it's nice to see the middle school kids get dressed up and have a fun night. Along with that, they recently had their NHS induction ceremony and kind of get them ready for NHS at the high school as well. Again, emphasizing community service and volunteering at not only a high school level, but also a middle school level. We also have the orchestra and band concert for the middle school. Overall, May is just hectic in terms of musical performances and seeing all the hard work that goes into creating a performance and one concert, because I've done orchestra, I've done band, it's months and months of hard work for one performance, and it's great to see it pay off. And lastly, I just want to praise the middle school for having a mental health awareness week. We recently had Sarah here. As you see, we're trying to make increasing efforts to spread awareness about mental health and also just what effects it causes on students and how we can increase their wellness.
All right, so I'm going to just go with the elementary schools. So at Lower Pottsgrove, they had math minds, in which, sorry if I butcher any names, Michael Kozinski, Nicole Lockey, and Ryan Smith tied first place on the team, which they ranked in the top 10% of the worldwide competition. Just to put that in perspective, there were 150,000 students who participated, some from the United States and then from 23 other countries. So that's quite an accomplishment. At Lower Pottsgrove, they also had their talent show. Several students showcased their talents to their staff and peers. And then during the third grade talent show, Darian Horton left the crowd completely mesmerized by his talents on the drums. This awarded him first place for the show. For an artistic honor, Vivian Phillips has been selected as a finalist in Crayola's 2016-2017 Empowering Students Through Creative Leadership Art exhibit. The exhibition was a national contest, and her artwork honoring Rosa Parks' story as a leader got her that recognition. For Principal of the Day, Jonathan Spat got to evaluate teaching candidates, introduce the middle school and high school jazz band to his peers, and provided students with free homework pass for that evening. Then Science Explorers, fourth grade students had participated in an engaging and entertaining science assembly with follow-up class workshops. At West, their family fitness night was a success. And then two events that are going to be coming up. May 17th, they're going to be going to the Hill School to see a children's production of Cinderella. And then May 18th, they're going to have their annual art show and PTA sponsored Vogo Book Fair. Ringing Rocks celebrated their Grandparents' Day. The classrooms were filled to capacity with guests who enjoyed seeing their wonderful education of their grandchildren here at Pottsgrove. And then Celebrates the Art Night was held on Thursday night. Hundreds of families came out to see their children perform musical numbers and see their artwork. And then finally, they had their spring book fair, which was quite successful with the highest sales that they've seen in years. So yeah.
Definitely now that it's springtime and around May, there are a lot of things going on, obviously, that we highlighted, but are going to continue going on. So we, as student representatives, definitely encourage you to come out and see what students are doing as they are involved both in and out of the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you both for that report. Moving on to action items and personnel. Would you like me to continue through?
Motion to combine all to approve.
Sorry. At least one.
Excuse me.
Okay, well, forget it. Just,
Well, I'll withdraw my motion then, so we can go through them individually, so.
no,
Mr.
I
Bing.
hate that. I'm just not prepared because I had to walk out, so.
We can do one by one.
Move to combine them all.
That's it.
Okay, motion and a second to combine all action items for personnel 10.1 through 10.10. Any questions or comments?
What's an intermittent family leave?
An intermittent family leave is a employee who has medical issues that needs time to rectify. So family leave allows that person to use her sick time via doctor note to be accommodated for that.
So it's the same thing, it's just a short period,
That's correct.
and they have balance to it later.
Well, and intermittent would be she could come in or he and as needed go out, correct?
That is correct.
Until the 26 weeks or whatever, she stopped.
And I found the thing that I wanted to comment on, but there's no need to really pull it out. I just wanted to give kudos to you folks. One of our action items is the conversion of a full-time sub to permanent Ms. Stiles, and it's just great to see that we're farming from our own team when it's appropriate to do so. So congratulations to her and to you folks for doing that. It's important that we show a path to permanent from the subbing ranks, if you will. So.
Okay, no other questions. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, action items for business. We ask that you accept the limited procedures engagement report received from the Auditor's General Office.
So moved. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
11.2, Power School Contract. We authorize the administration to execute the agreement with the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit for hosting, support, licensing Power School as our student management system for the 17-18 school year at a cost of $23,153.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Always give kudos when we save money from the previous year, although it's in this case, the provider that's doing it. But still, $500, I'll take it.
Stick with our guy. Okay, all in favor? Aye. And I must have been overly confident tonight because I have not asked if anybody was opposed to anything yet. So my apologies. Anybody opposed? Motion passes.
11.3, Schoology Contract. We authorize administration to execute an agreement with the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit for the license of our Schoology LMS software for the 17-18 school year.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments on this one? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
11.4, MCIU Bid Awards. Approved bids conducted by the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit for the 17-18 school year as presented.
Motion and a second. Questions?
Just, in this case, once again, glad to see that the cost has gone down. Was this just the bid was lower, or our ask is lower?
There is a significant reduction in requests.
It's mainly art supplies where I see the big difference. So are we shortening our art department the supplies they need, he asks?
Last year, we had 3 art teachers that put in big requests. This year, we had 2 at the high school.
So we have less art teachers?
So they requested less material.
Is that because one was on a leave?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Out of curiosity, the decrease in paper, is that paper for like printing paper?
Yeah, well, yes, the paper bid there separately, art supplies would have some colored.
Oh, you colored paper, but I mean, this is, I guess my question was this like
This
for
is
paper?
copy paper.
Copy paper, so maybe like the one-to-one and doing things that might have some effectiveness there, I guess. Just curious.
Or are we going to have teachers begging their kids to bring in paper at the end of the year?
That would
If
be
we need to buy paper later in the year, we'll buy paper later in the year.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. All in favor then? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
11.5, Apex Learning. Recommend the approval of the renewed agreement with Apex Learning for secondary credit recovery. The agreement is for 50 unlimited enrollments per subscriptions for comprehensive courses during the period of August 10th through August 9th of 2018 at a cost of $7,500. This represents a flat rate, no increase from the current school year.
Any questions or comments?
Question, do our students pay summer school? Pay for their own summer school?
I mean, we self-fund, is that correct, Dave? Or,
We charge our kids to enroll in summer school. Yes.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
11.6, physical therapy contract. We recommend the approval of a 3-year contract with Pediatric Therapeutic Services, PTS, for the 17-18 school year, which is the same current rate of $67 an hour for occupational therapy, $53 an hour for certified occupational therapist rates for this 18-19 and then 19-20 school year are $68 for the occupational and $54 for the certified occupational.
Motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Budget transfers. We ask that you approve the budget transfers for April 2017 as presented.
So moved. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Action items for education overnight sports camps. We ask that, your approval for the following camps.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments on this? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Textbook adoptions for the advanced placement of the U.S. government and politics. We ask you approve the textbook selection as submitted.
Motion and a second. Questions, comments? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Number 13, the Joint Operation Committee, the JOC, we ask that that be postponed to the 23rd when Mrs. Grimm returns.
I do I had planned to mention this in front of Mrs. Grimm, and I guess the JOC meets monthly, correct? So I'm wondering why we're having an update every meeting. Shouldn't we have a monthly update for the JOC to coordinate with the monthly meetings?
I think that was, they just had, Bob, you just had a meeting, correct? So that would have been this.
We had an update last meeting too, so that's why I'm.
I think that, but that might have been a delayed update too.
Okay, so it is
So it
intended
will
to be a
one-
monthly
yeah,
update.
it should be once a month.
At our first business meeting, it's intended for the JOC update.
Okay, great.
And I, for one, can never get too much good news, so I don't mind if we have them once every time.
Okay, we're going to move on to committee reports. Actually, we're going to move on to an action items to accept the minutes for facilities and operations that was held on April 11th, 2017.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Usually I let the chair do that. I apologize for moving on. Yeah.
Just minutes.
Okay, just minutes. We ask that for the Curriculum, Technology, and Student Affairs, we ask that the committee, that the board accepts the minutes from 2018 as submitted. Actually, April 2017.
Motion and a second. Sorry, I was looking for something. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And of the Policy Committee report out from April 25th.
Okay, so, policy on April 25th. I think we reached finally our last go-around for 707, use of facilities or use of property, along with the rules and guidelines that go with it. The last change that we made was to add a clause for applying credits for in-kind contributions that are made by supporting organizations who may rent the facility. So if they make a contribution in kind to the district to support the district or its programs, then the district will apply that as a credit to their rental fees for that year. Correct? And I think it can be carried over for 1 year, that credit. So that policy now is available for public review and comment, and our aim would be to be able to vote to approve that policy at the May 23rd meeting so that we can put it in. Is that right, or is it June?
Actually, June.
Okay, so the first meeting in June. I forget what that date is, but that way it'll be ready to be put in place for the beginning of the 17-18 school year. Policy 204, attendance, which is currently under review. This was kind of bumped because of the magnitude of the conversation. We're actually going to hold a special meeting, I believe May 18th, of the policy committee specifically to discuss attendance. So that was discussion on that was basically postponed until that special meeting. And again, that'll be May 18th, and I'm not sure if it's already up, but it'll be posted and open to the public, of course, yeah. But just to make note, it is during the day. So it will not be an evening meeting, it'll be a daytime meeting, but it will be a public meeting. Policy 808. So I'm just going to read this from the minutes. Recommended by PSBA, the committee reviewed this policy for the first time. Mr. Nestor gave a brief overview of this food service policy that falls under the uniform grant policy. So the committee will continue to review this policy in detail on May 23rd. I think it was just a first over that this is the next policy on our docket to review. And then we had a parent visit, and I will make everybody here aware I was not at the meeting. Can I defer to you on the parent visit?
Sure, and maybe Mr. Rabinowitz, I don't know if you want to comment, or I can just basically follow up with the minutes. I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, we had a parent visit us who expressed concern about a lack of a uniform policy as it relates to allergies, food allergies specifically, but not necessarily just food allergies, in the various schools. And this parent expressed concerns that there are inconsistencies from building to building and possibly even from classroom to classroom. She brought her son who suffers from severe allergies, and I know from speaking with the other parents who have severely allergic kids, it's obviously a very serious thing. And so I think we took her recommendation under advisement, and you may have more to say about it.
Yeah, that's correct. From that group, we are going to, a couple steps we're going to take, review policies from other districts. We're going to meet with our healthcare experts, our school nurses. We're also going to include current families that face food allergies and challenges in the district as well, and then obviously create a policy to address. Our goal really is to get the ball rolling in this particular school year, to start the conversations, really review the records of current policies that are out there, as well as talk to our district healthcare officials, and then really move that into the fall with the families, and really come back in early fall with a recommendation to the policy committee and board. I just wanted to apologize to Mr. Alexander that you were correct for the 707 policy. it will be May 23rd. We'll be asking to have board approval for that particular meeting. I just wanted to go back and make sure that for the record, that was correct.
And I'll say, just wrapping this report up, I was not in attendance last Tuesday. I was out of town for business, but I just want to point out while I have the chance that the parent in the minutes did contact the board about the concerns that she had, and we recommended that she attend a policy committee meeting. Her concerns were heard and actions being taken. That's the best way this operation can work. So I'll encourage everyone out there watching that if you do have a concern, you can always contact the board, and especially attend a committee meeting specifically, because really a lot of work gets done there. Work gets done at this meeting as well, but the meat and potatoes happen at these committee meetings. And that's where plans get made and then just get presented to the full board for approval a lot of times. So absolutely encourage everybody, attend those meetings, bring your concerns forward, and hopefully there's something that can be done to address. But clearly, we like to hear from people, and we appreciate it when it gets pointed out if there's a place that we're falling short. So thank you to Mrs. Bleem for coming in and making us aware of her concerns. Thanks. Okay, we're on to new business.
I have something that ties into the last report regarding policy. In regards to what Governor Wolf had signed into law last November, I believe, sometime last year, with Act 86 and diabetic students, can we see, or if maybe somebody remembers, did we need to address our policy in that regard? Because now their students, once they go through a certain process, are able to carry their medicine and their needles or syringes, whatever you would call it. I'm just curious if our policies need updating to look into that, if we can check that. That's all I have.
There were 2 items on a budget update that we got from the last meeting that were down at the bottom of the update that you gave us that were one-time purchases. I think one had to do with the music program in the middle school, if I remember correctly. And can you remind me about what those items were and the costs associated with them?
Certainly. The one item in the amount of $31,412 was the purchase of a set of 10 acoustic shells for the music program at the middle school. The second item was replace a timpani set of 4 drums at the middle school at a cost of $8,664.
So the total for 2 is about
$40,000.
$40,000. And can you also tell me how much money is currently in the Market Street Fund, roughly?
Yeah, roughly, I'd say it's approximately $100,000.
Well, rather than make a motion at this time, I'd like to suggest to the board that we consider approving these 2 costs and pay for them with Market Street funds. They're one-time purchases. The Market Street funds are here for just this type of thing. There's a need, especially I think the more expensive of the 2 items. It's a tight budget year, but this is why we put the advertisements up in the stadiums and collect the revenue so that it can be used. And $100,000 is the highest I've ever heard it. I mean, we get it. How much money do we get per year, approximately?
The net amount is probably around $30,000.
So you like to have that money available for when you need it, but it also I personally feel like we shouldn't sit on it for too long either, because then it's just there and it's not really serving its purpose. We have a need, we have the money. Again, I think it's not, I shouldn't be so quick sometimes to make motions, so I just wanted to bring it up as new business, have everybody think about it, and then maybe see if it's something that we cover in the next meeting.
Yeah, and I'll say, first off, I appreciate you not making a motion, thank you, so I
Oh,
can
you're
think
so
about
welcome.
it for a little while. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we do this Market Street program for the specific purpose of funding our extracurricular, co-curricular activities. That's a big ticket item, the shells, the acoustic shells. So I would appreciate, for one, hearing more about that, just than what we saw in the update, and getting a little bit more information, because it's basically a year's salary for the Market Street program, but it's there. The money's there, I agree. But also, one thing we don't hear often, and I don't know if is kind of a plan for Market Street funds, so I don't know if it's because there's not one, and we just let it sit there until we need something, or if somebody's got this in their mind, hey, we have 100,000, we'd like to use, 60 this year for this, and 25. I mean, are there things in line? I don't know, but I'd like to know that too. But definitely for a big ticket like $31,000, I would just like to know more about the specific.
To clarify, I was able to pull up the spreadsheet at this point, so I can give you an actual number. It's just shy of $80,000. I apologize. But the Market Street money is used at the discretion of the school board. So you can use it for whatever you wish. Historically, it's been used primarily for athletics, but there has been we've bought band uniforms or band jackets out of here or something like that. So there has been a fair share of musical purchases out of it as well.
I seem to recall a tuba as well.
Maybe.
Because of the amount that we generate a year that goes into that fund and what we're looking to take out from that fund, could you bring your opinion next time we discuss this, but also discuss it with the athletics and music department, and just so they understand the numbers, and do they feel this is a worthy use of those funds?
One last question in regards to these two items, because does the Music League do any kind of donating towards this or funding for these type of items, or not really? They're more into the programs and uniforms, or?
The Music League doesn't provide donations directly to the school district. If they buy things for the music department, I'm not aware of it.
Oh, you got more on that? Okay.
I had two items. The first one, I do need to say thank you very much. As we end, if I'm not mistaken, today was either the last or one of the last sporting events for our full calendar year. I think we do have the track invitational coming up, and of course the track team continues to run, but generally we're pretty much done for the remainder of the year. So at this time, I do need to say thank you to all of our coaches, all of our players, all of our clubs, all of the volunteers for the Booster Club. This particular year, we were able to raise upwards of $7,000 and donate it back to the school and our clubs. So we couldn't have done that without all of the help that we received from the community and the coaches and the players and such. So thank you very much. Second thing was just a question. We had spoken a few months ago, I guess it was, in regards to possibly doing something that our teachers had suggested in the curriculum meeting, and bringing back some maybe, or reviving an old tradition of bringing back some graduating students. And I know our seniors that graduated last year are going to be coming home either now or next week. And I was wondering if the school district has considered that or bringing them in. Has there any been discussion on that?
Not any further, Mr. Leach, with that piece. I mean, I guess, you know, we've just been pretty much entrenched in the curriculum renewal process, and, but I know that it's something on our to-do list, in, you know, in talking to the district office group, and also something that I would bring up to Dr. Ziegler in the future. I would have to see logistically if it's something we feel we could get done, you know, as far as soliciting those particular students in a short period of time, because obviously they're finishing up probably this week, and then when would that fit into that senior schedule? I just wanted to have a little bit more time to speak with, you know, counselors, teachers, a couple other teachers. I know Dr. Coleman was part of that process as well, and Dr. Ziegler, to see logistically how that works out.
If you could just find out if that's even possible. If it's not, maybe we plan it for next year. If it's not
It
this
seems to me like this is something that we shouldn't do on a shoestring and plan for next year. I mean, I recognize that that there might be a desire to do it sooner, but there's only a month left of school and a lot to do between now and then. Wouldn't it make more sense to plan it right for next year?
Absolutely. It's just simply where we were. It was brought up, obviously, a few months ago.
That reminds me, just a question, maybe Dr. Ziegler can answer. The senior walk, our plans are underway for that, and we moving forward with that this year?
Just going back to Al's sort of reunion kind of thing, or, you know, not quite a reunion, but you know what I'm, yeah. If I could suggest, maybe look at holding it over Christmas break rather than in the spring when there's so much going on. You know, maybe do it on like a Saturday or something, you know, when all the kids are home.
I think when it was brought up, there was a specific time where it was traditionally done. I don't remember if it was Christmas break.
It was.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talked about, I guess, in history, and Dr. Ziegler, you can correct me, this was done in January?
Yeah, we typically did it in January. We're actually looking at doing it like that first week of January when students are still back. I got to be honest, the next 4 weeks of school are packed full between Keystones and AP and award ceremonies. So we really planned it in January. We can invest in quality time to get graduates back, get them into the classrooms, and really, you know, provide it as a rich experience for our students.
Thank you, Dr. Ziegler.
If I can just, one more thing. Dr. Ziegler, it was brought up that the teachers, a lot of teachers requested the seniors wear a name badge for senior walk, but if I can just make one suggestion, if you're going to use the sticky, like, hello, my name is, okay, good, because I just didn't want it to stick to the, like, leave a residue on the gowns.
We're using a pin badge. Our secretarial team's actually working on a pin badge with a name tag. Senior walk is June 4th, and I'll announce this, what's that?
14th.
June 14th, sorry about that. Thank you, Dr. Shirk. June 14th, and we're going to actually open up a piece with, invite parents to come. And starting at 9 o'clock, we're going to line School Lane and up Ring and Rocks driveway, so parents can come and see that as students go from out of the high school and up to Ring and Rocks.
Okay, if we're finished with new business, we'll move on to answers to previous inquiries.
We have a few to catch up on. We wanted to share the information with Mr. Leach. We did attach that to your board doc, that so far this year, regarding school district and conference attendance budget, we have reduced that particular budget by 33% for the 17-18 school year.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, we talked about the prom date for 2018. We did a little investigation with our class advisors, Dr. Ziegler, and the actual venue. And basically, you know, the question was about AP testing after, you know, and when that happens. College Board provides a schedule which includes the day and time when testing needs to occur. So unfortunately, the schedule was not received in time, the time frame which we needed to book the venue for the prom. So basically, for future years, the AP testing begins the first Monday in May, and this should continue. If this should continue, the prom continues to be the last Saturday in April. This would not occur again until 2023. So there's a little bit of a gap till, it's like sort of like the Haley's Comet. Yeah, right. So, right. Right, so.
Well, I'm
Thank you.
confident I won't be on the school board in 2023.
Thank you.
It's just so you know that it has been recorded.
Okay, before we adjourn, I'll give an opportunity for additional public comment.
Yeah, Charles Snifford. I'm faculty at Weimar University. I just want to go back to the discussion that Mr. Leach mentioned earlier. If the students are approached, you can sometimes get them at times other than January when the schools start. Encourage the students to talk to their advisor or the appropriate people at the campus, because I know we coordinate with this with other schools. And sometimes, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but some faculty will grant students time off to skip class to go to these things. So I encourage you to do this, whatever is at your convenience, but encourage your guest students to talk to the faculty at their post-college. So that's just my only comment, to encourage you on what is a very fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nipper.
Okay. If there's no further public comment, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.